Hello everyone, it's time for the monthly reckoning. This is where I confess to you all what I have read and what I have not read, and tell you all of my plans or my not plans for the next month. So in September, I read a grand total of 3 books, 3 easy books at that. But I'm going to count a 4th. I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a minute. I finished Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. Guys, I don't know how to say her name. Ng. Anyways, this was a book I bought when I checked out one of our brand new little bookstores. You can see the bookstore tour I did of that one. Poppy Books and Gifts. My friend said this is really interesting and really good, so I got it. It looked really easy and thin and fun. I must say it was quite riveting, but it made me too sad and depressed. It was a sad book. Like nothing good happens in this book really. And it's such a dysfunctional family. And the mom kind of made me crazy. In the long run, it was interesting story and quite engaging. Is that the right word? It's about a Chinese American father who marries a girl who wants to be a doctor, and then she gives up her dreams to have a family, and then their kid dies, and then their whole family falls apart, and it's all this backstory about kind of what's leading up to how come they all fall apart and what's wrong with their kid that dies. Basically, yeah. Okay, so there's that one. And then I read this one real quick this past week, Just Won't Spring for the Boy Band Star. It's by Sasha Hart. I met her at the writers conference in May, bought this book from her. She has a little 4-part series they're called the Four Seasons Park. I think they all must have some sort of climatic event that happens at the park at the end of the book. And this one's spring, and so there's a summer one and a fall one and a winter one. Make sense? Okay, it's about a girl who's trying to be a top chef, and she ends up getting hired to be the personal chef of this celebrity dude, boy band star. She has to keep her identity from him because the very beginning of the book, she has contacted him to help her with a bucket list that she's trying to do for her twin sister that's died. She's trying to finish the bucket list, and one of the things is that she wants do a duet with this guy, and he thinks she's crazy, and she's really bugged at him, and then she ends up being his personal chef, and so it goes from there. It's cute. And I read on my Kindle, let's see if I can get it up. On my Kindle, I read Not If I Date You First by Christy Meyer. I got this one free because she gave away the link on Instagram. She's a local author, I think, yeah. And I saw a ton of her books at the King's English bookstore. Check out that link if you haven't seen my little tour of that bookstore. And so I was excited to see it there. And so then I went ahead and hurried and read this one. And it is also about a girl who she's trying to be a paparazzo. That's how you say it when it's only one, I think. A paparazzi person. Yeah. She's trying to make it big into that industry. And she needs to rack up some points with the boss person in order to be hired. The boss will give her points if she gets her picture taken with this celebrity dude. The TV star hates paparazzi and has had many run-ons with them in the past. And so now she's in his face all the time. And then he realizes he's been told by his people that if he gets his picture taken with her, like if they make a sort of a buzz, you know what I'm saying? And then it will make his reputation be better, and he will get the big job he wants. And so they're using each other in the public eye to get what they want. And they really clash at the beginning, but of course they start liking each other, and then they start finding out all their backstories, and it's also a really cute one. Yes, the guy, I did not like him. It took me a while to warm up to him, which made me not like it so much. I like to be swoony over the guy, but I wasn't over this guy, but he got better. He got better, let's just say that. Those 3 are the only 3 books I have read this month. That is pathetic. But you guys, I think I'm going to count this book that I got from the library about the sourdough and the flour and the bread baking. This one's called Flour Power. I'm sorry you can't see it because the big thing also on the front. Flower Power. Flower Power. Doesn't that look awesome? So I have read much of this stuff that's where it's just that kind of the intro to baking, and you learn about wheats and grains and cereals and flours and the processes and the way that it's ground. And this lady is intense, let me tell you. She grows her own wheat. She not only gets, grinds her own flour, but she grows her own wheat, and she has all these different kinds, and she has these different kinds of flours, and so she has 3 different kinds of sourdough starter, and she bakes like nonstop, and it's a little bit overwhelming, I must say. And she says things like, do not use regular salt, use pink Himalayan salt. It just never use regular salt. And I'm like, really? I need to go get special salt? Does it really make your bread better? It's intense. It's intense. But you guys, I have loved baking bread. Once a week about. Sometimes I skip a week and do something else with the sourdough, but pretty much once a week I make 2 loaves of bread, and I love it. And we're starting to get used to it around here. And so I don't know, I think I might have started something, I don't know. As part of my investigation into doing this correctly, I guess you have to have a kitchen scale. So I got a scale, I haven't used it yet. I haven't hooked it up or done anything with it yet, but maybe that will make my bread even better, because if you measure all the things properly, then maybe it's even better. I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna count that one, even though like half of it's just recipes and others, but there's all that introduction stuff. So I'm gonna count it as one of my books read this month. And then I've recommitted to the goal of reading Oathbringer, and I've read maybe about 100 pages this month. So we're getting there. I've mapped it out again. I keep doing this. If I read 1 chapter a day, I will get done by Christmas. There are some days I'm not gonna be able to do that, so I'm gonna have to maybe try to read 2 chapters a day and just not get behind. I can get this done. I can get it done by, this is where I'm at right now. I'm about 30%. I can get it done by the end of the year. So that's part of what I've done this month too. 100 pages in that. Yeah, that's where we are for the month's reading. It's really sad, but it's been crazy. As far as what I want to read in October, a while back I stuck some books up here saying, oh, I'm going to read this for October. Let me show you. Oops. I would love to read this one, but look at it. How am I supposed to fit that in? Because, okay, how many pages is it? 758 pages. I really want to read this. This has been on my shelf for years and I never got to it. So I don't know, maybe I'll try. Maybe it's so good that I'll just inhale it and the 750 pages will be easy. Who knows? And then I've had this one on my shelf forever, and it looks like a good spooky one for October. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. I got this when I was in Savannah, Georgia, because it takes place there. I think I've heard it's a little bit risque or something. So I don't know if I read it and I'm like, excuse me, and I might say forget it if it's really not my thing. Elegant and Wicked, it says. First true crime book that makes the reader want to book a bed and breakfast for an extended weekend at the scene of the crime. Anyway, I like to buy books when I'm on a trip that takes place in that area, and I've done it a little bit. I haven't been consistent with it, but yeah, this is one I got in Savannah, Georgia. That place was interesting. Can I just say it's probably one of the hottest places I've ever been, because we were there when it was really crazy. So those 2 are on my maybe perhaps list for October. I'm actually currently reading on my Kindle. I have started The Dark Forest, which is the 2nd book in the 3 Body Problem series, and it's going to be brain power too. Lots of brain power. I'm about 10% into that one. It's like a huge book too, 550 pages or so. So I feel like I'm doing kind of a lot more than I can actually deal with. So we'll see how it goes. That is my wrap up for the month of September and my plans for October. And I hope you guys have great plans too. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.